Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to Super Coaching Regulatory Bodies YouTube channel by Testbook. So, before we start the discussion, please let me know in the comment section that I'm audible, visible, everything is fine. We are good to go so that we can begin the discussion. I welcome you all in the next very important session on finance current affairs, where we will be discussing the finance current affairs related news from 1st to 3rd of May. I can assure you, as always, this session is again going to be a really very important session for everyone, and you are going to learn many new things today, which has a great probability that they will be asked in the examination for sure. In this particular session itself, as you know, we cover not only the specific financial current affairs, but we dig pretty deep to understand the RBI circulars, RBI notifications, as well as RBI bulletin. I'm pretty sure those who are enjoying this session on regular basis, they must be learning a lot on day-to-day basis. And if you are going to join for the very first time, then I would suggest you watch at least 3 sessions, and in 3 sessions, that means in 1 week, you will realize the importance as well as the relevance of this particular session with respect to your examination. I can assure you guys, this session is going to help you to learn a lot, not only about the financial concepts, but also regarding the terms which are in news in the financial world, which have a great possibility to be asked in the examination. Chalo ji. So without any further delay, let's get started with the discussion. So as this is my last try, because in the last session I have not got much response with respect to the revision part, but today I'm taking a last call. I'm expecting that today you will be giving me the responses. If not, then from next class onwards, I will be stop discussing the revision based questions. If you all are ready, and if you have revised the PDF of the previous session, you are in a position to answer the questions from the previous session, give me a thumbs up, give me a yes sir, so that we can begin. Here we go with the first question. The first question of the evening is now on your screen. I will be giving you 20 seconds time to attempt this particular question, because if you calculate the timings which you are going to get in the examination, that means in the final examination, it's going to be around the same. That is, you will be getting almost 20 seconds to answer these kind of questions. So keeping that in mind, I have come up with this particular timer. So your time starts now. I want everyone to go through with the question and give me the answers. Okay, now it's my turn. Consider the following statement regarding the Reserve Bank of India's recently launched surveys. Inflation Expectation Survey of Household helps RBI to understand how consumers perceive future inflation trends. That is absolutely correct. Consumer Confidence Survey collects data solely from the rural areas. No, no, no. Industrial Outlook Survey evaluates business performance and employment outlook in the manufacturing sector. That is absolutely correct. Moving on to the next point, these surveys are conducted across 19 cities of the country, including Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bengaluru. That is correct. The findings from these surveys are directly used by Monetary Policy Committee for bi-monthly policy decisions. That is again correct. So the answer to this particular question is going to be what? 1, 3, 4 and 5. So the answer to this particular question is B option. Let's check it out. That is absolutely correct. Moving on to the next question. Again, 20-second time. Your time starts now. If you were not present in the previous session, nothing to worry. If you are not able to answer the questions, nothing to worry. At least try to understand the question. Give a try to answer the question, because whenever we answer wrong for a question, it remains with us for a longer period. So let's decode this. Consider the following statement regarding the Indian standards for note sorting machines issued by BIS. So standards for NSM, that is note sorting machines, titled, were published in the Gazette of India after the consultation with RBI. That is true. These standards specify performance and safety requirements to ensure accurate detection of genuine and fit banknotes. That is true. Initially, banks were required to deploy only BIS certified NSM conforming to these standards by 1st of May 2025, and now the deadline has been extended to 1st of November 2025. The standards are applicable only to the foreign exchange dealing banks, not to the regular commercial banks. No sir, it is applicable to all the banks out there in the country. So the answer is going to be A option. Let's check it out. It is absolutely correct. So I have many students. Aniket has given the correct answer. Anuj, Shivangi, beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm enjoying. Moving on to the next question. Read the question, guys. You have 20 seconds. Okay, now it's my turn. So consider the following statement regarding the 100 and 200 rupees banknotes through ATMs. RBI has mandated the banks as well as the white label ATMs. That means banks are owing brown label ATMs as well as we have blue label ATMs. So these ATMs along with white label ATMs to ensure ATMs regularly dispense 100 or 200 denomination note. That is true by September 2025. It should be 75%, at least in one cassette, 90%. ATMs will be doing this by 31st of March 2026. That is correct. This directive is aimed to increase the availability of 100 and 200 rupees of notes which are among the least circulated denomination in India. No sir, this is wrong. Guys, this is wrong. These are not the least circulated denominations in India. No, no, no. Why they have been introduced through ATM? Because these are the most demanded, most required denominations. So that is the reason fourth option is incorrect. ATM operators may need to modify cassette system and invest in infrastructure to comply with new requirements. Is that true? Is that true? The answer to this particular question is yes sir, that is true, because the size of the notes is different. Earlier, the current machines, they are capable of more of 500 rupees. So if you are coming up with 200 and 100 rupees notes, then you need to modify the cassettes. You need to invest not much but little amount in the infrastructure to fulfill the criteria. So according to that, A option should be correct. 1, 2, 3, 5 is correct. Fourth option is incorrect. Why? Guys, which are among the least circulated denomination? Who said that? Who said that 100 rupee and 200 rupee note is least circulated denomination in India? No, they are one of the most circulated denominations in India, but their availability through ATM is pretty low. That is the reason we want this amount so that, or we want this denomination so that the transactions can be done in a better manner. So it's quite obvious. Answer is going to be 1, 2, 3 and 5 is the correct answer. Is it clear? Those who have marked the answer fourth as correct, I hope it is clear. You need to read the statement very carefully, otherwise you are going to make the mistakes. Moving on to the next question. Again, 20-second time. It is related to FEMA, latest contraventions and compounding wala news, which we have started in the previous session and we will be completing it in today's session. Go on. Shrishti notification will be out pretty soon. You must buckle up yourself and try to prepare or try to invest as much time as you can in your preparation. Okay. Any violation of FEMA provision, rules or regulation qualify as a contravention under the Act? Any violation is a contravention? Yes, sir. Any violation will be a contravention. That is true. Breaching the condition of an authorization issued by RBI is not considered as a contravention under FEMA. This is wrong. So the norms which are issued by RBI, they are also included as a contravention under FEMA. If the amount involved in the contravention is not quantifiable, you cannot quantify, you cannot calculate the amount, then maximum penalty is going to be of 2 lakh rupees. In case of continuing contravention, in cases of continuing contravention, an additional penalty of 5,000 rupees per day will be charged after the first day. That is true. The penalty for the contravention may go up to 5 times. No, sir. It will go up to 3 times of the amount involved. So in that particular case, second and fifth statement are wrong. 1, 3 and 4 is going to be the answer. So if I choose the option, I will go with A option, that is 1, 3 and 4. That is 1, 3 and 4. Moving to the next question related to the same. Consider the statement regarding compounding mechanism under FEMA. So consider the statement regarding compounding mechanism under FEMA. Compounding is a voluntary mechanism that allows individuals or entities to admit a contravention under FEMA and resolve it by paying a penalty to RBI. Okay, so compounding is a voluntary mechanism, that is true. Contravention related to money laundering or terror financing under section 3 of FEMA are eligible for compounding. Are they eligible for compounding? An application for compounding must be submitted within 180 days from the date of contravention along with the fees of minimum 10,000 rupees with GST. That is true. Once approved, the compounding amount must be paid within 15 days. Following to this, your application will be forwarded to ED. A similar contravention cannot be compounded again within 3 years. That is also true. Sir, if you are making a same contravention again and again within a span of 3 years, then you cannot do it, or you cannot go for the compounding. In that particular case, as per the act, penalties will be charged, or huge value penalties are going to be charged. So answer to this particular question is 1, 3. Answer to this particular question is 1, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 3, 4 and 5. So 1, 3, 4 and 5 are correct, but obviously the second option is incorrect because the section 3A included transactions which include terror funding, which include money laundering or money hawala. They are not eligible. These kind of contraventions are not eligible for what? So they are not eligible for the compounding purpose. Here we go with the first news of the day. Shall we start, guys? Those who were not present in the previous session, don't worry. I will be starting with the news today. And if you were not present in the previous session, you can hold tight now and you will be able to understand each and everything from this point onwards. Give me yes, sir, so that we can begin. So guys, what we are talking about, those who were not present in the previous session, I can give you a quick overview. RBI has come up with the master directions related to the contravention. Contraventions basically means the violations which are done by the parties to a particular act. Here the act we have is, that is FEMA. So it says that if the parties, the stakeholders, they have violated the FEMA act and then they themselves approach to the concerned authority that, sir, we are really very sorry, we have made this mistake, please forgive us. But RBI will say, or the authority will say, we are not going to forgive you, but yes, we will be charging down a penalty, but this penalty value is going to be pretty less. And this kind of settlement where the party itself voluntarily approach to get the complaint sorted or approach to get the contravention done to be sorted in order to avoid any kind of huge penalties in the near future, that is known as compounding. तो compounding का मतलब है खुद जाकर अपनी गलती मानना और पेनल्टी पे करना. कॉन्ट्रावेंशन का मतलब है जो भी आपने वायलेशन की है, किसके अगेंस्ट, जो भी आपने वायलेट किया है फेमा या किसी भी एक्ट को, तो जब आप किसी एक्ट के नॉर्म्स को फुलफिल नहीं करते, दैट इज बेसिकली टर्म्ड एज कॉन्ट्रावेंशन. ठीक है जी. तो उस केस से रिलेटेड हमने कुछ बातें पिछली क्लास में ऑलरेडी कवर कर ली थी. आज हम इसी को आगे बढ़ाएंगे और आज हम आगे बढ़ते हुए ये बात करेंगे कि इस डायरेक्शन में क्या क्या चीजें दी गई हैं. सबसे पहला पॉइंट है, under this compounding of contravention, application process for compounding, how the application will be done. For example, I am an organization or I am an entity or I am a company and I have violated the FEMA Act. If I have violated the FEMA Act and I know the regulator, the implementer of FEMA in India is RBI. So in that particular case, what I will do, I will approach to RBI myself. RBI has not called me, RBI has not identified that I have done something wrong. I myself go to RBI and submit an application stating that, sir, I have violated the FEMA Act and I am here for the compounding purpose. I'm here for the compounding purpose means I am here to pay the basic penalty so that in near future any kind of harsh action should not be taken against me or my organization. So compounding application will be submitted. Compounding application will be submitted to RBI's regional office. Now the question is, we have so many regional offices of RBI in the country. I will be submitting my complaint to which of the regional office of RBI? Then I would say my company's or my entity's headquarter is, let's suppose, in UP. Let's suppose it is in UP, and the regional office of RBI which is responsible to handle the concerned area of UP will be my point of contact. Are you getting my point? कि जहां आपकी कंपनी का ऑफिस है, जहां आपकी कंपनी का हेडक्वार्टर है, रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस है, वो हेडक्वार्टर, वो रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस जिस भी रीजनल ऑफिस के प्रेमिसेस में आता है, you will be approaching to that regional office to submit your application. So compounding application related shall be submitted by the applicant to the respective regional office under whose jurisdiction they fall, or you can submit it directly to the Foreign Exchange Department set up in New Delhi. Foreign Exchange Department set up in New Delhi. Or for all other contraventions, applications may be submitted to the cell for effective implementation, of FEMA, that is Foreign Exchange Department of RBI at Mumbai. So you have these options that you can register your complaint with the regional, you can register your application with the regional office under which your company is falling, your company is going to be managed, or you can directly submit it to the Foreign Exchange Department of RBI. Now the question is, what is the process which is going to be followed? भी भैया ये जो एप्लीकेशन है इसमें हम क्या प्रोसेस फॉलो करेंगे ताकि ये एप्लीकेशन सबमिट हो जाए और उसके बाद उस पर जो भी कंपाउंडिंग है वो हो जाए, सेटलमेंट हो जाए, फ्यूचर में कोई इश्यूज ना आए. तो सबसे पहला स्टेप क्या होगा? द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज एन एप्लीकेंट may submit the compounding application with the relevant documents. You can submit it physically to the regional office under whose premises your entity is belonging to, or you can apply through Pravaha portal. I hope we have discussed about Pravaha portal n number of times. Is it clear till this point? Pravaha portal क्या है इसके बारे में हम काफी बार बात कर चुके हैं. तो अगर आप एक कंपनी है, एक एंटिटी है, and you have violated the FEMA, in that particular case you can apply for compounding, for settlement, either on the RBI website, either on the Pravaha portal, or you can visit the regional office physically to submit the application. Second is, all compounding applications shall be submitted along with the fees. So if you have violated the act and now RBI will be checking out that violation, then RBI will be taking the desired step. So this means you have done a mistake. In case you have done a mistake, now you are responsible to pay the fees, and the fees which is bare minimum. This is not the penalty. This is the fees to submit your application. Penalty will be decided later on. So what is the fees? Sir, it is 10,000 rupees plus GST, and GST for this particular format is what percent? So that is 18%. Third point is, application must contain the contact details, that is the name of the applicant, authorized official or representative of the applicant, mobile number, telephone number, as well as email ID, so that RBI can contact in case of need. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, everyone? So this is the process which is need to be followed if you want that your violation, your contravention can be compounded through RBI. Now moving on to the next point. Certain cases which are not eligible. The first case which is not eligible for compounding. Let's say today, what is the date? So today it is 6th of May, guys. On 6th of May 2025, let's say a company involved in foreign exchange has done the violation V1. Has done the violation V1. Once they have done this violation V1, company approached to RBI for compounding purpose, and company was asked to approach within a span of 180 days. So company has a span of 180 days, but company has done the contravention on 6th of May. Company is very afraid of it, has reached to RBI, or it has reached for the compounding purpose on 6th of May only through the regional office by physical visit. Then RBI will announce the penalty, and this penalty is need to be paid within 15 days. This is need to be paid within 15 days. Things closed, sorted. But after 2 years, on 6th of May 2027, again the company has done the same violation. If the company has done the same violation, then in that particular case, company is not eligible for compounding. That means आप voluntarily apply नहीं कर सकते. Now the educating authority will be set up, and that authority will charge huge penalty on you because your violation is not allowed under compounding, because the same violation was done in a span of last 3 years. The same violation was done in a span of last 3 years. Is it clear, everyone? Is this point clear? So these kind of issues will not be compounded where two same contraventions are done within a span of 3 years. Now let's suppose this contravention was done, the same contravention was done on 6th of May 2029, on 6th of May 2029, then in that particular case, what we will consider, sir, in that particular case, we will consider that, okay, 3 years have passed. Now this contravention is again a new contravention. Yes, sir, it is eligible for compounding. Yes, sir, it is eligible for compounding. Is this point clear to everyone? Is this point clear to everyone? If it is clear to everyone, just give me yes, sir. If it is clear to everyone, just give me yes, sir. Okay. So if your case is already, or I would say the contravention has been done in last 3 years, it has been compounded, you cannot compound it again in a span of 3 years. Moving to the next point. Any contravention committed after the expiration period of 3 years from the date on which a similar contravention was previously compounded, then it will be allowed, it will be considered fresh contravention. Next, no compounding application shall be processed unless the request administrative action is completed by the applicant. What does it basically means? It basically means, let's suppose we have an entity. This entity was asked by RBI that all the entities falling under the category of authorized dealer category 1, don't get yourself confused कि इसका मतलब क्या होता है. Just try to understand this point, that RBI has come up with the norm that all the authorized dealers category 1, they must have board of directors equals to 3. They must have board of directors equals to 3. So this entity is supposed to achieve the target, and the timeline was 31st of March 2025. Now let's suppose this entity has not achieved the target on 31st of March, but on 5th of April 2025, the company has increased the number of board of directors from 1 to 3. Now they can approach to RBI for compounding. What I'm trying to say, sir, if you want to compound, if you want to settle down the contravention which you have done, that can be settled, that can be compounded only and only if you have fulfilled the requirements. अगर आपने रिक्वायरमेंट फुलफिल नहीं की और आप आरबीआई के पास आ गए कि आरबीआई आपने कहा था 3 बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स होने चाहिए, अनफॉर्चुनेटली मेरी कंपनी में बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स पहले भी एक ही थे, आज भी एक ही है, लेकिन मुझसे गलती हुई है, प्लीज मुझसे पेनल्टी ले लो, मुझे जाने दो. आरबीआई कहेगा नहीं, ऐसा बिल्कुल अलाउड नहीं है. आरबीआई कहेगा कंपाउंडिंग का मतलब क्या, आपसे गलती हुई. कंपाउंडिंग मीन्स यू हैव डन अ मिस्टेक एंड यू आर एडमिटिंग इट, but you need to sort that mistake, you need to overcome that particular you need to overcome that particular mistake. What does it mean? It means all the norms which have been given under FEMA, you have to fulfill those norms. Then you come to RBI, then only the compounding can be done. Otherwise, compounding is not possible. So processed unless the request administrative actions is completed. If the actions are completed, then compounding will be done. Otherwise, compounding is not allowed. Next point. We all know that contraventions of serious nature such as section 3 related to money laundering, terror financing, they are not included under, or they are not included or allowed for compounding, and even they are not going to be looked after by RBI. They are going to be looked after by Directorate of Enforcement, or we call it as ED, Last point, very important, please pay attention. Rule 9 of Compounding Rules 2024 transaction says, this is the amendment which has been done, in which the amount involved is not quantifiable. If there is a kind of breach of the act which has been done, but the act which has been breached, the amount relevant to that violation is not calculatable. So in that particular case, if you cannot calculate that amount, then in that particular case, maximum 2 lakh rupees of penalty can be charged. But along with that, there is one more point. It says, attracting provisions of section 37A of the Act, where the educating authority has already passed an order imposing penalty under section 13 of the Act, or where the DOE of the view that compounding proceeding relates to a serious contravention suspected money laundering. Okay. So what does it say? It says that if you have done a contravention today, okay, let's say on 1st of April 2025, you have violated the FEMA Act, and you have not approached for a compounding. On 30th of April, you have received a notice. From the concerned department. That, sir, this educating authority has been allotted or has been appointed for you because you have done violation to the FEMA Act, and we will be charging penalty on you. So once they have announced such a huge penalty on you, then you wake up, and what do? You go to RBI and say, RBI, मुझसे गलती हो गई, I am ready to do compounding. In that case, RBI will not accept your compounding because your mistake, your violation has been already identified. The legal proceedings against those violations have been already initiated. Now you cannot opt for compounding. Compounding तब तक allowed है जब तक आप पकड़े ना जाओ. The day you are caught and now the penalties are going to be charged, after charging or after announcement of the penalty, you are not allowed for compounding. Compounding means voluntary, and voluntary means before you are caught, before you are challenged by the authorities. Once you are already challenged by the authorities, you are not allowed to approach to RBI in order to get it sorted. तो भैया फ्लो क्या होगा? अगर हम फ्लो की बात करें, अगर मैं कंपनी हूं, I have done the violation. In that particular case, what is going to be the flow? First of all, sir, I will be reaching to RBI. First of all, I will be, for example, I have done the violation. Once I have done the violation, I will fulfill the administrative steps, whatever required. जो मैंने violation की थी, उन steps को मैंने क्या कर दिया? Reverse कर दिया. मान लो transaction की थी, उसे reverse कर लिया. Information नहीं share करनी थी, वो information share कर दी. I have done the administrative step. बट स्टिल गलती तो हो चुकी है, सुधार भी ली गलती, बट अब आपको कहां जाना होगा? यू विल गो टू आरबीआई फॉर कंपाउंडिंग. आरबीआई विल गो थ्रू विद योर एप्लीकेशन, एंड वंस आरबीआई गो थ्रू विद द एप्लीकेशन, देन आरबीआई विल चार्ज पेनल्टी ऑन यू. यू आर सपोज टू पे दिस पेनल्टी विद इन 15 days. You are supposed to pay penalty within 15 days, and you can reach to RBI within 180 days of contravention. This is the entire flow which you need to follow in case of compounding of contraventions under FEMA. If it is clear, give me yes sir. I'll move on to the next point. If it is clear, Give me yes sir, so that I can move on to the next point. Guys, I will be taking all your general doubts after I complete the discussion. I would request you, let's focus on the content right now. If you have any general doubt, you can ask me after the session, or you can write your doubts in the comment section as well after the video, after the session. Now, अब क्वेश्चन ये है कि सर, अगर ध्यान से सुनना, द क्वेश्चन इज इफ आई हैव डन अ वायलेशन and if I have done a violation and I am caught by the authority, in that particular case, authority can charge penalty on me that is up to 3 times the sum involved. That is up to 3 times the sum involved. But if I myself reach to RBI that yes sir, I have done this mistake, I am reaching to you, then in that particular case, a low value of penalty will be charged. And what is the penalty value? Sir, ye data which I have written for you, this is not for, I'm not asking you to learn it. No need to learn, just read it so that you can understand. For example, you have not done the reporting. There is a norm that you have to report to RBI if you are selling the shares, if you are purchasing the shares, or you are dealing with the foreign entity. And if you have not reported as per the timelines, then first you will be submitting the application, and the application fees, to submit the application fees, the fees is 10,000 rupees plus GST. Above that, penalty value is going to be charged. That will be 1,000 rupees per year. If the amount of contravention is less than 10 lakhs, it will be 2,500 if the contravention is 10 lakhs to 40 lakhs. So these are the small penalties which are going to be charged. But on the other side, if you do not inform yourself, you do not accept your mistake yourself, and you are caught red-handed, in that particular case, if your contravention value is 10 lakhs, then the authorities, they are eligible to charge penalty of value up to 3 times. That means 10 lakh की गलती पर 30 लाख रुपए की penalty भी charge हो सकती है as per the act. It's better you admit your mistake and pay a very less penalty and let the things go. Second is related to submission of ACC. ACC stands for Annual Activity Certificate. APR, Annual Performance Report. FLAR, that is Foreign Liabilities and Assets. Foreign Liability and Asset Report. Then we have Form Foreign Currency Gross Provisional Returns. These all are the technical, I would say, documents which a company is need to submit to RBI or to the government or to the designated authority. If you fail to do that, if you fail to submit those certificates, then again, after you realize that you failed to submit the document as per the timeline, there is a delay. So as per the delay, first of all, you will be submitting the application with an application amount of 10,000 rupees. Along with that 10,000 rupees, you will be paying the penalty value. Delayed and non-receipt of share certificate, penalty value is 10,000 rupees per year. Total amount being subject to the ceiling of, obviously the total amount of penalty cannot be above 3 times, which is going to be charged in case of, which is going to be charged in what case? So it is going to be charged when you will be caught red-handed rather than you are yourself informing about the violation. So same goes for all these terms. You just read it once, nothing to memorize, nothing to learn for all these points. Is it clear? Last, I would like to discuss 2 points. First, the compounding amount should be less than 3 times value, because 3 times is the limit in case of penalty. In case of sum involved in the contravention is less than 1 lakh rupees, then the total compounding amount shall not be more than the amount of simple interest 5% paid. For example, what I'm trying to say, आपने एक contravention की 50,000 की, और ये contravention की आपने, let's say, for 5 months, this contravention you have done for 5 months. In that particular case, your penalty amount will be 50,000 पे 5% के हिसाब से क्या निकालो, 5% के हिसाब से आप निकालो इंटरेस्ट, और उस इंटरेस्ट को 50,000 में ऐड करो. दैट इज द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू विच इज सपोज टू बी चार्ज. that is the maximum value which is supposed to be charged. So in case of sum involved in contravention is less than 1 lakh, total compounding amount shall not be more than amount of simple interest 5% in case of 1 lakh and should not be more than 10% with respect to the all other contraventions. With respect to the all other contraventions. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया. इट्स अ वेरी बिग न्यूज. इट्स हैज अ ग्रेट प्रोबेबिलिटी कि यहां से क्वेश्चन पूछे जाए एग्जामिनेशन में. ऑब्वियसली देयर इज अ लो प्रोबेबिलिटी कि यहां से कोई डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चन आएगा, बट यहां से ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन बनने के पूरे चांसेस है. नॉट ओनली इन फेज 1 बट इन फेज 2 आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि यहां से फॉर श्योर यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट paragraph based questions. For sure you can expect paragraph based questions. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? If you have enjoyed the discussion, give me yes sir so that I can move ahead. If you have enjoyed the discussion, give me yes sir so that I can move ahead. Now I'll move on to the second news of the day. The second news is very important. It has a great probability that this news will be asked in the phase 1 examination. It's a one-liner news. That is the reason I have presented it only and only on one slide. The news says Razorpay launches India's first AI integrated MCP server for payments. I'll take a very simple example, guys. Let's suppose you shop on Amazon. The moment you shop on Amazon, you have made the payment through, let's say, debit card, or you have made the payment through the online banking. The product which you have received, you do not like the product and that product is returnable. The moment you will click on returnable, moment you will click return, they will ask you what will be the source, what will be the destination of refund, कि भैया जो आपका पैसा वापस करना है उसे हम कैसे रिफंड करें, and you will say source account. Let's say you click on the option that is source account. अब the moment you will click on the option source account, it will come okay. लेकिन okay आने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि source account में पैसा चला जाएगा. No. Now what will happen? The entire information will reach to Amazon. Amazon employees who are managing the Amazon dashboard, they will be activating the repayment. They will be activating the credit of the return amount, and that credit of the return amount will be activated into the source account through the payment platform. Which payment platform? So the same payment platform with which Amazon has tied up, and Amazon has received the amount from me. For example, Amazon has tied up with Razorpay, and when I have made the payment, the amount has been credited into the Amazon's account through the Razorpay payment gateway or through the Razorpay payment transfer facility. So in that particular case, the employee will initiate the return request and the employee will activate the Razorpay platform to credit the amount back into the same account from which the amount was paid at the time of purchase. अब अगर इस सारे काम के लिए employee की जरूरत ना पड़े, if we say that we don't need an employee for all these things, then how it will be done, sir? It will be done with the help of a machine which can think. It will be done with the help of a machine which can think. That means machine with a brain. That means I'm talking about AI. तो अब क्या हो रहा है? Razorpay has taken up an initiative that AI, the moment customer will mark return, customer will mark source account, AI will itself interact with the payment platform, and in that interaction AI will inform the payment platform कि सर ये जो funds हमारे पास आए थे for this particular product, we request you to refund those that amount in the source account. तो ये जो काम पहले employee द्वारा डैशबोर्ड की मदद से किया जा रहा था, now the entire task, now the same entire task is performed by, now the same entire task is performed by whom? So it is performed with the help of AI. The same task is performed with the help of AI, and this initiative has been taken, or this service has been initiated by whom? So this service has been initiated by Razorpay. So please pay attention. So Razorpay, please pay attention. Razorpay Software Private Limited, the private service provider, the private service provider has recently launched what? So first model context protocol server for a payment gateway, which enable businesses to integrate AI driven systems directly with their payment infrastructure. अब होगा क्या कि MCP servers allows AI assistant to carry out tasks such as creating payment link, initiating refunds, managing transactions without the need for traditional dashboard or any kind of API visit. Earlier, payments were initiated and authorized by the businesses by using the dashboard. Now there is no need to use the dashboard. It will be directly initiated with the help of this AI. Now basically ये जो AI है, it has been enabled to command Razorpay regarding the payment link generation, regarding the initiating the refunds, managing the transactions and whatnot. So remember, this is a question which has a great potential. So अगली बार अगर कोई पूछे, phase 1 में Razorpay has launched India's first AI integrated MCP server for payments. What is this MPC server? And it is model context protocol which has been developed by Anthropic, is an open standard designed to enable large language models to interact with the external tool systems and data sources. So now AI can not only manage their own tasks, they can even interact with the external systems related to your entire ecosystem, and those external systems can be even controlled with the help of AIs which are developed, which are linked to a particular business. Is it clear now? Moving on to the third news. The third news says Zaakpay gets RBI approval to operate as payment aggregator. So recently Zaakpay, is basically it is Zaak ePay or Zaak ePayment Service Private Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of One Mobivic System Limited. It has received the final regulatory approval, that is certificate of authorization from RBI to operate as payment aggregator. So what is important? Only one point is important, that Zaakpay gets the approval to operate as payment aggregator. Why I have chosen this news to be covered over here? Because it is the wholly owned subsidiary of Mobivic. Is it clear? So this has a great potential. The question can be asked. Again, fourth news, again a great potential news which can be asked in phase 1. We all know about IFSCA, that is International Financial Service Center Authority, the regulator of international financial service centers in India, has tied up with National Institute of Securities Market. It has signed MOU to boost the capacity building and training initiatives in the security market in GIFT IFSC. So what is it? So basically IFSCA has tied up with NSIM, which stands for National NISM, which stands for National Institute of Security Market, and this institute will provide training. This institute will provide content, that is PDFs and all. This institute will even conduct certificate or certification test or certification exams so that public get aware about the international financial service centers. Not only public, the stakeholders which are involved on this international financial service center, they can get knowledge how to utilize the services, which are provided, on international financial service center. So MOU was signed between Tuhin Kanta Pandey, who is the chairman of SEBI, and K. Rajaraman, he is the chairman of IFSCA. Why chairman of SEBI was there? Because NISM is a public trust which was established in 2006 and it was established by SEBI, therefore SEBI chairman was present. So NISM will act as a training partner of IFSCA and its registered intermediaries and will support range of capacity building initiative such as conducting relevant certifications will be conducted, customized content, question banks, e-learning modules will be provided so that IFSCA can have certified players to act, to provide services at GIFT IFSC, that is International Financial Service Center. Fifth news, RBI has recently charged huge penalties on the Indian banks, and the total penalty value is around 2.5 crores. Penalty has been charged on private sector bank, ICICI Bank, as well as IDBI Bank and Axis Bank. Even the penalties are charged on Bank of Baroda and Bank of Maharashtra. So what you need to remember in this particular news, so if you can remember the values, it's good. If you cannot, it's okay. I'm not insisting you that remember the values, but at least you must remember that ICICI Bank was charged with a penalty because non-compliance with directives on cybersecurity framework, directives on know your customer, directives on credit or debit card issuance and conduct. Bank of Baroda has been charged with penalty because non-compliance with the norms on financial services and customer services in the banks. IDBI was charged because IDBI has not fulfilled the KYC norms as well as Kisan credit card norms. Bank of Maharashtra was charged related to KYC again, and Axis Bank was charged related to unauthorized operations of internal accounts as well as office accounts. Got it? Moving on to the next news. This is something which is important. It has a potential that this information will be helpful for descriptive examination as well. Recently, IMF has presented World Economic Outlook report for April 2025. Now, according to World Economic Outlook report, which is presented by IMF, it has been recorded that India has become the fourth largest nation in terms of GDP. India has surpassed Japan to become the fourth largest nation in terms of GDP. India is behind Germany as well as Japan, and recently India has surpassed which nation? So India has recently surpassed Japan. Now India will be taking up, or India will be surpassing Germany and will become the third largest nation in the upcoming future. So the most important data from this particular news is the ranking. These are the rankings for the nations on the basis of their GDP, as you can see. So the nation on the first rank with highest GDP is US, $30.34 trillion. China is the second largest country in terms of GDP. Then we have Germany on the third rank. India has surpassed Japan to become fourth largest nation with a GDP value of $4.39 trillion, and Japan is on the fifth rank with $4.27 trillion of GDP value, and UK is at sixth rank with $3.73 trillion. One more thing which is important in this particular discussion, according to JP Morgan, it is estimated that India will become the third largest economy by 2028-29. That means India will even surpass Germany and will become the third largest economy by 2028-29. And if you see the gap, it is not much. We are around I would say 50. We are around $0.50 trillion behind Germany, and if we achieve that, we can easily surpass Germany to become the third largest economy of the world, obviously behind US and China. Even by 2035, it is projected that China may take over US by 2035. Even there is a projection that by 2075, India will take over US to become the second largest economy after China. So China will be first at that time, US will be third, and India will be second. These are the projections which have been done in the past. So remember that India has become the fourth largest economy in the world according to the GDP. India is expected to overtake both Germany and Japan by 2030. India has already taken up Japan. Now India will be taking up or surpassing Germany as well by 2030 according to the report, if the growth trajectory remains the same. IMF has also forecasted that India is the fastest growing major economy of the world. India is the fastest growing major economy of the world, maintaining a significant advantage over the both regional as well as global competitors. But in this report, 2 points have been highlighted, which we all know. First point which is highlighted is related to the trade war. First point which is highlighted is related to the ongoing trade conflict. So it is said that in this report, the ongoing trade conflict may result in weakening the global economic growth, and this global economic growth may get impacted, but it is way above the position of recession. तो 2 point important है. पहला कि सर ये जो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ है ग्लोबल लेवल पे, it can shake for sure. Nothing to worry about it because of the trade war which is going on. But on the second side, it has been said that the global economy may get shaken up, but still it is stable, or still it is above the risk of recession. So according to IMF, the global economy is well above the recession level, and if the modest growth rates which are expected, if we can witness those growth rates, the risk of recession can be overcome. Got it, guys? Moving on to the 7th and the last news of the evening. The last news is related to the RBI. RBI has announced that the exports through warehouses in Bharat Mart in UAE, relaxations has been announced. Now, before I discuss why RBI has given this news, why this news has been taken in the session, before that we should understand what is Bharat Mart. I don't know how many of you are aware of this term, but it is very important. There is a probability that there could be a question. Write a short note on Bharat Mart, or if you are writing a descriptive answer related to the foreign trade policies of the country, then Bharat Mart will be a good example. If you are writing a free trade policies of India, comprehensive economic trade policies of India, then also Bharat Mart is going to play an important role. What is Bharat Mart actually? So Bharat Mart is set up in Jebel Ali, which is in Dubai, which is a free trade zone. So Bharat Mart is a joint initiative of DP World, which is a Dubai-based multinational company which specializes in logistic, port terminal operations and maritime services, as well as the second party is India's Commerce Ministry. So it's a joint venture of DP World. And India's Commerce Ministry in order to boost exports by Indian small and medium sized enterprises. Basically है क्या, एक एक करके पॉइंट को समझते हैं. भारत मार्ट इज अ प्लेस, ये समझो इट्स अ 1 lakh square, it's a place in Dubai, that too in Jebel Ali free trade zone in Dubai, where you can open up a warehouse. Warehouse means where Indian exporters, they export their goods to Dubai and they can store these goods in these warehouses. And as stated, this is a free trade zone. Then on the basis of the free trade zone, goods can be exported to the demanded nations, and the demanded nations will be receiving these goods under the benefit of free trade zone. They will be receiving the goods under the benefit of free trade zone. Secondly, you can even open up the wholesale units. You can even open up the retail units in this particular Bharat Mart itself. It is being compared with the China's Dragon Mart. So Bharat Mart is emphasized as a wholesale as well as retail market space, offering Indian manufacturers, traders and exporters to enhance, or in order to enhance their access to the international markets for their products as well as services. Remember that it is located in a strategically located in high-profile Jebel Ali port and a free trade zone known for excellent logistic connectivity. Bharat Mart would become a dedicated global business-to-business sourcing hub for Indian goods. तो यहाँ से क्या होगा कि sir, those nations which were feeling tough to import from India, now they can easily import from this Bharat Mart, which is there in Dubai, because they are already importing goods from Dubai. So जो पहले इंडिया तक नहीं पहुंच पा रहे थे, those who were not in a position to purchase the goods from India due to the transportation issues, due to the logistic issues, now all those issues can be overcome and it will be a hub for business to business trade. Marketplace aims to export goods to the Western Asian countries, African countries, obviously Eurasian markets, which will undoubtedly use the UAE's positioning in the Middle East nations or Middle East transshipment center, and that transshipment center make UAE a hub for exports all over the world, and India is enjoying that particular facility. India is enjoying that particular facility. अब वहाँ पे होगा क्या सर? वहाँ पे thousands of Indian micro, small and medium enterprises will be participating. They will be selling their agriculture produce, textile produce, gems, jewelry and whatnot. Remember that this DP World, it will construct, it will operate and maintain the Bharat Mart marketplace as a part of $3 billion UAE investment in India's logistic and infrastructure. तो जो investment UAE ने करनी थी logistic and infrastructure में $3 billion की, that will be done in this format. DP World will construct, operate and maintain the Bharat Mart for India, जहां पे इंडिया के goods को showcase किया जाएगा for better exposure and better export facilities to the logistic services which are available in Dubai. Moving ahead, the Bharat Mart facility in Dubai has been compared to China's Dragon Mart, and it is operational in 2025. It was expected to be operational. Now, yes, it is operational. The launch of Bharat Mart platform further deepen the vision, that is comprehensive economic partnership agreement which India has signed with UAE in 2022, where India and UAE, they have reduced their import or custom duty or import taxes in order to enhance the trade between the two nations. Now, RBI ने क्या कहा? RBI ने कहा है the Indian traders, the Indian exporters, the Indian manufacturers, they can access the markets in UAE as well as worldwide through the Bharat Mart. कैसे? पहला, authorized dealer banks, that means category 1, authorized dealers category 1, those are the banks which allows you to enjoy current account transactions, capital account transactions, even offer you with the foreign currency accounts, may allow exporters to realize and repatriate full export value of goods exported to Bharat Mart. So you have exported your goods to Bharat Mart and you can receive back the amount against those exported goods within 9 months. Within 9 months from the date of sale of goods from the warehouse. तो जिस दिन वो good warehouse में बिक गया, उसके 9 महीने के अंदर अंदर you are allowed to receive back the amount. Authorized dealer banks may allow the exporters to open up or to enjoy these facilities without any precondition. So there is no precondition on an exporter. If you are willing, if you are targeting to open up or to enjoy the Bharat Mart services, you just fulfill first thing, that is opening or hiring of a warehouse in Bharat Mart by an Indian exporter is allowed if you have a valid importer-exporter code. This is the basic thing which you have. Second is remittances by Indian exporters for initial as well as recurring expenses for setup and continuing business operations of its offices. So you will be doing all the remittances through the bank, and secondly, you can open up the warehouse in Bharat Mart if you have valid importer-exporter code. No other precondition is required which were earlier prevailing. So those preconditions which were prevailing earlier, that is not important, but you remember that RBI has made a change that there is no precondition required for an exporter to open up a warehouse in Bharat Mart, which is set up in UAE, developed by DP World to position the Indian goods on the Indian goods in the international market and to provide better access to the world through the UAE platform. Is it clear, everyone? So this is the entire thing which you need to remember. I hope the entire news is absolutely clear. If it is clear and you have enjoyed the discussion, give me yes sir. You can download the PDF from this Telegram channel. You can search Economics by Madhav Arora, or my handle is @Madhav Arora. Even you can directly scan the code to join my Telegram channel. Guys, I would request you, if you haven't liked the session yet, before leaving, do hit the like button. If you haven't liked the session yet, do hit the like button before leaving. Sir, this ongoing trade conflict between US and China impact the growth, and is it possible to achieve consistent 10% growth in the upcoming years? No, it is not possible to achieve consistent 10% growth, and that is the reason, as per the latest estimate given by a few of the international organizations, we are expecting that India will grow at a rate of, I would say, 6.1 to 6.4%. This is the range which has been given by most of the organizations for the current financial year with which Indian economy is going to grow. Is it clear? Enjoyed the discussion? Guys, I hope you must have enjoyed the discussion. If yes, do not forget to hit the like button and do not forget to share your suggestions as well as feedbacks in the comment section below. Guys, I have a very important question for you. Write down this question or remember this question. Number of countries with which India has signed free trade agreement. In next class, I have a news which I haven't included today because of the session was already heavy. So in the next class, I will be discussing free trade agreement as well as the term which is over here, that is comprehensive economic partnership agreements. So you need to give me that India has signed free trade agreements with how many countries, or India has signed comprehensive economic partnership agreement. Comprehensive economic partnership agreement with how many countries? This is going to be tough, this one. This is easy. So at least give me the answers that India has signed free trade agreements with how many countries till date. Is it okay, guys? Should I wait for your replies? Do reply in the comment section before coming for the next class so that I can discuss this point in the very next class itself. If you have enjoyed it, do give your feedback. Do not forget to share your feedback in the comment section. If you're watching this session in a recorded format, do share your feedback. How was the session? And do share your suggestions as well if you want me to add something else to make this session more appropriate, more comprehensive, more productive for you all. Thank you so much for joining, guys. We'll catch you soon. Good luck. Stay blessed.